tournament season from V3, and we're gonna open up this box and see what this baby's all about. And I already cheated and opened up the box because I'm patient. But let's check it out. When you first open up this box, the first thing that you're gonna notice that you're gonna find is a magazine from V3. And it's got all the brand new releases, sights, and everything in it, broadheads, that they come out with. And here's the main part. Brand new V3 Mini BT, because I have baby hands. And it comes with, of course, your arranged set of, lost it, rubber bands. Oh, lost that one too. And we're back. So it comes with your arranged set of rubber bands and stuff on it. And then actually what this is this is a thing, a heat shrink that you will put on the back of this release where your other fingers go. You'll slide it down there, heat shrink it up, and that just helps with the release sliding if your fingers slide or anything. Gives you a little bit more grip and also helps the execution of the release in the back half. We'll see how this feels and then determine whether I want to use that or not. So first things first, let's put it in our hands. This is the most comfortable release that I've ever held in my life. It literally just sets in your hand. You don't even have to hunt for a spot. This is like holding God's hand, or at least the closest comparison that I can find of it. Imagine you have a turtle dove and you're just holding that little baby turtle dove, and that little soft thing is just sitting there, and it just sits so perfect in your hand. If you shoot this release, you will instantly gain 100 points on your score. You will instantly kill a 180-inch deer. This release will make your mustache thicker than Doug Schmidt's.
Hey, good buddy.
Okay, so maybe not so much the last one, but this is a comfortable release. It does sit perfectly in your hand. And I was worried about this notch right here for the finger separator because it wasn't tall enough, and I figured I wouldn't get a direct, a good solid feeling of where my fingers actually was, that they were separated. But this hook here brings them in together, and actually it does have a nice separation between both of them. And I love this hook because when I shoot a hinge release, I want my hinge to have my fingers a little bit closer together in this back half here. It really helps me feel like I'm pulling through my shot more. And with that hook on this release, it really does help feel like that my fingers are coming together and that I can pull through the shot. Another thing is that this is a thicker release. If I put it beside my finger, you can really tell how thick it is. And this thumb peg here is out and back more than the average thumb peg, which really makes me feel like you won't have to hunt for the thumb peg whenever you draw back. Usually you got to come up here, or they're real close right underneath it, and you really got to get up there, and it's just a big drastic movement. But this one, it really feels like that I can just put my finger right on it, draw right back, and I'm fine. And I don't know if they actually meant to do this, but it looks like you can take that thumb peg off and actually shoot it without a thumb peg. I might try it, I might not. We'll find out. Okay, so as you can tell, this release is made out of brass, and it runs for $159.99. Now, they do make an aluminum version of this release, and it runs for $154.99. So for the price, I would go with $5 more. I would just go ahead and go with the brass. Unless you're one of them people that likes an aluminum release, well, then go with the cheaper side and get the aluminum. I like brass because it makes me feel like I get into my shot better, makes me feel like I execute better, and I just like the weight of brass in my hand. Now, with this release, it is technically micro adjust, and if you look in here, there's little tiny dimples, very, very tiny close dimples on the moon of this release. and you'll undo this set screw here and undo this set screw here, or you can leave this set screw where it is and just undo this set screw down here at the bottom of this head, and then rotate it whichever way into a certain positive click, and then tighten it down. And I really like that because it lets me know where the click, where I got it set at, and for the simple fact that this moon has these clicks, that I can actually micro adjust this how I want, and it's not just flopping around everywhere. Another thing that I like is that this release has a really deep hook on it. Now this is a rubber band system release, so your hook rides off a rubber band, screw goes into the back here, and your rubber bands are held in with the screw, and then hook in here to the back side of your hook, just like that. But let's go out and shoot this release. Okay, so we actually kind of cheated a little bit. I've been shooting this release for a long time, and I actually shot it in Foley, and I really liked it in Foley, but we're going to shoot it out here anyway. The hook ended up sticking on me and hanging on me a little bit, but that was more so I shot it out in the rain, and we had just consistent rain this whole time down through here, and I never maintenanced it. I never put any oil on it or anything. So if you shoot one out in the rain, just some 3-in-1 oil on your stuff just goes a long ways. So just maintenance your stuff. But we got the new white limbs back on the bow. Thank you, Jim and Tracy, for that, and getting those out quick. But the bow's not sighted in. We're going to shoot it close and just see how this release does. Now the initial thing on this release is honestly how quiet the click was a big thing, because there was a lot of times with deer whenever I hunted with my other 2 Hinge releases that the click was really loud and the deer were like, whoop, you know. I mean, in the video where I shot my buck, you can see the buck when the click went off, and the doe. You can hear where the click went off, both of them. They're like, but they still died. Okay, so after shooting this release, from Foley to taking it out and shooting thousands of arrows with it out in the yard and stuff and practicing with it, I really love this release, and I ended up switching different moons on it, going back through and buying the moon pack, whatever, and ended up going through moons on it. Now this hook in the back here, what I can say about it is I'm not used to such an aggressive hook, but I like it, because I can get down, I can get that third finger in there, and I can crunch in there, and then it really helps rotating the release around. I really don't have to fight for finger placement on this. I put it in my hands and it goes where I want it to. It's just a really comfortable release, and it's a really smooth release, and I will use this release during deer season too, because the click's so quiet. And if I get something, I usually stick with it. I don't like change a lot. But if I try something out and I do change, it's because I like it, and I really do. And last year I went flip-flopping between a couple other releases and stuff, but this release actually fits me very well, and I like it. So go check them out at b3archery.com. They have a bunch of other releases out there, not just Hinge releases. They also have, you know, a bunch of other Hinge releases too, if that's your flavor. And they got thumb releases, they got caliper releases, they even have broadheads. They got a bunch of other stuff, sights and stuff like that. So, but if you're wanting a release and you have children's hands like I do, this might be the perfect release for you. They also have it in aluminum too. So, go give them a check out at b3archery.com, and I'll see you guys later.